What's up, everyone? How you guys doing? And in today's video, we're talking about the information that was just released to us. We do know that Zhongli and Neuvilette were rerunning in Phase 2 of 5.2's Genshin Impact patch, and now we have confirmation on who's running alongside the 4 stars, which we have Yaoyao, Fischl, and Heizou. Finally, last reran in 3.7, and he is finally back. We're going to talk about some of the weapons on the weapon banner as well. Because I think this is an okay weapon banner, but for players who want to pull, maybe with this video they'll help with their decision making. So yeah, before we begin, I'd like to really thank you all for those of you who are watching, for giving me to 400 subscribers. Pretty crazy, and hopefully let the good times continue on. So yeah, let's get this video started. Okay, so let's talk about the 4 stars first. Let's talk about the guy who has been away, who has been gone for like, I don't know, 20 odd patches, Heizou. Now admittedly, Heizou isn't really the best characters. He's an animal DPS, and he does do decent amount of damage, but because he's animal, he only has access to swirl, so starting for players to take note of. He does have good constellation, so if you are a Heizou main and you really want to build your Heizou, his C6 is really nice. His C2 does increase the crowd control, the grouping, so definitely allows you to do more damage easier. And then yeah, just all around PT okay. Definitely helps him with his damage. So yeah, obviously Heizou is going to be pretty decent for players who want to play him. Of course, with him being a 4-star DPS, he's obviously going to be lacking in the numbers, but I think he does have a very interesting gameplay style, One Punch Man. So definitely something for players who are interested to try, for them to take note of. Now, and I don't, for these two characters, I don't really talk too much because I have like talked about them like multiple times. They're not being Fischl. I have a dedicated video on her. Just know that her C2 and the C6 are really nice, definitely for players to take aim for. And I think that one of the things that people forget about Oz when the summon is that coordinated attacks, especially at C6, do help with energy restoration. It do help with battering your teammates. So if you're playing somebody like Chlorand, Fischl tends to be the best partner. You also activate the electro resonance, so really more energy for everybody else. Fischl, in my opinion, is one of the best characters because she does have really good uptime, especially with C6. Yeah, and definitely Oz does do a lot of damage, and not only can you play her with like obviously like Dendro comms for the aggravate or spread, but also really good in team comms like electro charge, who let's not forget, Electro Charge got buffed in 5.2, so she'll be doing a lot better damage in this round. So all in all, I think that Fischl obviously one of the best characters. In my opinion, she is the best 4-star character. I'm very, very biased towards her, and definitely it makes the banner a lot better because Fischl is that good. All right, so let's talk about someone that we really didn't talk about that much, and that is Yaoyao. Pretty good healer. She does have very, very nice healing, both through her skill and her burst. She also has decent enough dendro application, obviously not as good as the healer, but let's say in team comms where you need like a dendro healer, like for example a Nilo Bloom team, or if you're using like even aggravate or spread teams, but let's say healer is needed somewhere and you need the healing as well, she does provide it very, very well. I think one of the good things about Yaoyao as well is that Yaoyao has, although she has decent constellations, she is also very good at C0. So at C0, like at base, she is already a very, very good unit, and I think that the constellations what improves her is not something that you need to like go all out for, right? Her C0 is already very potent in supplying the team with a lot of healing and also energy as well. All right, so let's talk about the 5-star characters very, very briefly. I'll probably make another dedicated video for Zhongli. But Zhongli, I think we all know he has one of the strongest shields in the game. By holding the the skill button, you get the Jade Shield, which not only has one of the strongest, if not the strongest shield in the game, it also provides elemental and physical rare shred to a small area around you. I think something that people always forget, but yeah, you do get a lot of, so you do also do increase damage. So the only thing I would say is that obviously people always say this, right? Zhongli is a DPS loss because you could be running like buffers and stuff, and while that is true, you know, that you can't put a price on comfort sometimes, and Zhongli provides that in strides. Zhongli is one, if not the most comfortable character to use in the game. Definitely helps a lot in sustaining. While we don't really have like the craziest content that you need to like have shields, definitely if you can't dodge, you know, it definitely helps out players as well. And so yeah, really nice. Yeah, just a lot of protection for the characters, and you also get and yeah, so there are many ways to build Zhongli. You can build him pure as a HP bot, right? Just put HP, use the black tassel, just get the highest HP for the highest shield. For me personally, I like to build more as a DPS hybrid, where I have crit stats built into him, because I think that he does do pretty decent damage as well. So definitely for players to take note of. And also the C2 can be pretty good. It's probably his best constellation, but I wouldn't recommend any constellations on him anyways. But yeah, if you really want a constellation, the C2 is really nice, because that means that the ultimate will give a shield without pressing the skill. So it's really nice for players who really want to consolidate two actions into one. So I know Zhongli really comfortable character to play, and I think, as I mentioned before, you can't really put a price on comfort sometimes, and that's what Zhongli provides. All right, so let's talk about the other 5-star that's running, which is Neuvilette. Neuvilette, obviously his reputation precedes him, strongest DPS in the game, his whole mechanic revolves around his charge attacks, right? So basically his charge attacks, you know, you definitely, you know, once you finish charging, you do the hydro pump, and then you can spin around. It does have good range. It also has good single target damage. So yeah, definitely really nice. The charge animation on its own is very long, but that's where the skill and the burst comes in. Besides it doing damage, obviously, they drop these things called the source water droplets, which basically cut down his charge timings. So definitely makes Neuvilette a lot stronger, a lot stronger and a lot faster as well. Obviously he isn't the DPS nuke that you see in like characters like Mualani. Obviously when Mualani was released, she was compared to Neuvilette, but when Mualani shows the big numbers on screen, Neuvilette does like lesser damage but more consistent over a prolonged period of time. So you definitely, while you don't see like a huge chunk go off at one time, you know, you see the HP wither down, and Neuvilette is very strong. He is able to not only be played in a mono team but also in reactions, which also help trigger his A1 passive, and also, you know, with HP, because his HP scaling, you know, increases his hydro damage bonus. So really nice. Also I want to mention, in my opinion, Constellation 1 is pretty strong. The one weakness about C0 Neuvilette is that he can be interrupted if you don't have a shooter, and of course C1 gives him, above many things, above the Draconic Glories, which is the A1 passive, you also get the interruption resistance increase, which means that you kind of don't need to have a shooter, so you don't need to run Zhongli. You can open that slot to a buffer so that he can do more damage. So definitely something for players to really take note of if you really think of hyper investing into your Neuvilette. Alright, so let's talk about the weapon banner first. I think let's talk about these 4 weapons. I think these 4 weapons are always rerun, but for good reason. The 2 Favonius weapons, very nice. House battery to team, 2 of the best support weapons in the game. So is the sacrificial fragments. It has EM scaling, so definitely good for Nahida. And also the skill, just like all the sacrificial weapons, you know, you're able to scale twice, so it can be good even on characters like Sucrose as well. So definitely very good weapons all around. The Dragon's Bane is also really good as well. EM scaling increases damage against, I think, Hydro and Pyro. So definitely very good for characters like Wu Tao. Definitely good for like sub DPS support characters like Rider Shogun in a Hyper Bloom team because of the EM substat. Now let's start with the last weapon, which I actually forgot what it was. Is the Mitish Notch Waltz. It's basically a physical damage weapon. Only niche used in back in the day was for physical Fischl, which isn't really viable anymore, so definitely don't use, because yeah, it's not really the best weapon in the world nowadays. Let's talk about the 5-star weapons. Let's talk about the Vortex Vanquisher, which is a weapon that I think gets memed on, and I think it's quite deserved. Basically increase the shield strength, so obviously Zhongli. The one thing I'll say is that if you build Zhongli as a shield board, you technically don't need this, because with the HP scalings and everything, you already have a good shield, so you don't really need to, like, this is kind of redundant. You can actually switch this for like the more offensive stats like crit. So weapons like the obviously the Star of Homer, the Primordial Jadewing Spear do a lot more damage, and as I mentioned, like the shield is really, like, Zhongli already has good shields. That this part really is kind of redundant in my opinion. Then let's talk about the Tome of the Eternal Flow, which is the Neuvilette signature weapon. It has at level 90, it has 542 and 88.2 crit rate, which, as many people say, is quite low on the attack side. But remember that Neuvilette is HP scaling, so he actually appreciates a low attack stat and a high crit. But anyways, obviously, you know, he benefits from this. And Neuvilette, I forgot to mention, he's a HP fluctuating character because he's for Fontaine, so definitely he's able to stack this very easily and also get energy at the same time. So yeah, it's really nice on Neuvilette. Definitely one of the strongest weapons. Neuvilette does have good alternatives, so don't feel pressured to pull for the Tome of the Eternal Flow. You know, we have the Prototype Ember that's good on him. The Sacrificial Jade, which is on the Battle Pass, is good for him. I think there's some new Fontaine weapons that can also be decent alternatives for him. Not Fontaine, sorry. Netland weapons. They're good alternatives for him, especially the latest one, I think. So definitely it's not the best thing in the world. Like, it's not the end all be all. That's what I meant. He's more of a C1 over R1 kind of character. But like I say, you know, if you want the drip, you want the weapon, you know, obviously go for it. I'm not stopping you. But for players who want to choose either or, and want to choose the better option, I think that the C1 is still better, because it just it opens more team comps, right? But as I mentioned, you go C0 R1, that's up to you. I can't really stop you guys. All right, so that's about it for this. You know, obviously Zhongli and Neuvilette, a lot of people have talked them to death. They're still very strong, especially Zhongli after 4 years. Still one of the best characters in the game. Definitely not like top 5 or anything anymore, but he's still a really strong character and a very comfortable character. As I mentioned, you can put a price on comfort sometimes, and so definitely if you're looking for comfort, he is the man to go to. But of course, if you want a really insane DPS, then obviously Neuvilette will be your answer. But don't sleep on these 4 stars, especially Fischl and Yaoyao. They're very good as well. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you are pulling for either of them, and let me know in the comment section below as well, you know, how you think about these two granddaddies, all right, the old men of Genshin Impact. Once again, thank you for watching this video. Appreciate you guys getting me 400 subs, and yeah, let's mention, hopefully the good times continue rolling. Do note that I stream live on Twitch, down in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, be good to yourselves and the people around you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.